reason why I get so excited about this one is because this is probably the area where I get asked the most questions about. And I want to make sure that you guys are having a very straightforward, easy to follow, evidence-based guide to supplements. So let's jump in. What is a nutritional supplement is the first question we really need to answer. So a nutritional supplement is basically a product that you take by mouth that's meant to add to or support your diet. Nutritional supplements can come in a variety of forms. So they could be tablets, they could be capsules, powders, they could be liquids, bars. You guys are aware they could be gummies. And the key point is that nutritional supplements are intended to add to or supplement the diet. So they're really different than conventional food. They're thought to add on to something that maybe we're not getting from the food that we take. Most supplements work by taking advantage of a known bodily process in order to get a certain outcome. So if there's a certain way that the body metabolizes a product and we can speed that up, or we can make the end result give us more of what we want, that's what supplementation can be good at. So if you understand all the processes within the body, then you can have a good understanding of whether a supplement should work or has the potential to work for you. But on the other hand, on the flip side, if you understand all the processes, you can understand that when a supplement just wouldn't make sense in terms of how your body processes different products. So if you understand metabolism, how things are broken down in the body, you can understand whether a supplement will be useful and effective. So one of the key kind of slogans or phrases that's in the sports medicine nutrition community is food first, but not always food only. So really what that's saying is, before you think about adding supplements, you really need to be focused on whether or not you have the proper amount of foods and you have a great plan for getting proper, nutritious, whole foods. And then, and only then, should you look for supplements if there's things that you aren't able to get. The reason why it's not food only is because some nutrients are a little bit difficult to obtain in insufficient quantities. Maybe some people have some dietary restrictions where they're not able to get certain nutrients, or some nutrients are in small quantities, so you have to eat a lot of food, which you're just not capable of doing. And then some nutrients just aren't in things that certain athletes like. So lots of young athletes are picky eaters, or they have kind of a specific diet where they eat a lot of fast food. So that's where some supplementation may be helpful. But I'd make the argument that if they're a serious athlete, then they should really have a clear-cut plan for their diet. Some foods might be difficult to consume, like right before exercise, during exercise, immediately after exercise. So it may be beneficial to have something that's in a much more conducive to travel or bringing to a tournament or bringing to a training session than having a full meal there. And then also the nutrient content of some foods can be variable depending on how the food is processed. And these thoughts are from a paper by Close et al., where they talk about food first, but not food only. So how do we evaluate a supplement? If there's nothing else you take from this module, I want you to know how to look at a supplement and how to decide if it's useful. So the first thing we need to think about is, does it need to be supplemented? So keep in mind that the supplement industry, it's a business. They want to make money. They want to be a healthy, viable business. So they're not really focused on whether or not something needs to be supplemented. They just want to say, well, here's this thing that you can take, but you may not need to supplement it at all. So is it actually low, or if it's at a normal baseline, if we consume it, will it actually increase the levels, or will it just get excreted in the urine or throughout the body? Can it be supplemented? So can we actually replace the thing that we're trying to supplement? So there are several products. If you look at the physiology, you see that, that product is too big to be absorbed by the intestine, and it really doesn't get into the bloodstream at all. And so that product's a pure waste. Is it safe to supplement, right? So if there's something that works like testosterone, but it's not safe at all and should not be used, then that doesn't make sense as a supplement. Does it alter performance? So I think this is really important because it depends what the athlete's goal is. So a lot of times I get kids asking about certain supplements, and I try to explain to them, is this supplement going to make you hit a golf ball straighter? Is it going to make you shoot free throws more accurately? The chances are probably not. But if you're looking to train harder, or if you're looking to get an advantage in the weight room, and that can extrapolate to your sport, then great. But I think you have to think about, does the supplement sound good, or does it actually increase the skill that you're trying to increase? And then does it make metabolic sense? So as we talked about, can it be absorbed? Can it be stored in the body for later use? So one important thing that you need to know about supplements is safety, safety, safety. The FDA does not have the authority to approve dietary supplements. So the FDA stands for Food and Drug Administration. Many families, many athletes believe that dietary supplements that line the shelves in the stores have been tested and have been vetted or evaluated by some governmental agency, and that is not correct. The company itself does not need to contact the FDA before they put their product out on the shelf. And they are responsible for the safety as well as the claims that the product makes. But we do not, at least in the US, have the ability to test the products prior to them being on the shelves. And so there is no part of the FDA that regulates what products can be placed onto market. There are some things that can be done after it's placed on the market, but that's an important point to be made because a lot of people make the assumption that these products have been tested and they have not. I think it is also important to know that the FDA depends on the normal public to report safety abnormalities, to report adverse events so that they can then go and investigate the product, but they do not investigate the product beforehand. Now you can imagine from a business standpoint that leaves open quite a bit of issues that these companies can perform. So they can make claims without having to prove those claims. They can say certain things are in the product without having to prove that those things are in the product. It's not the same as if you're selling a drug that you get from the pharmacy or over the counter. So that's where third-party certification comes in. Third-party certification means that an independent organization has evaluated that supplement, at least certain batches of that supplement, and have verified that it's the quality and the manufacturing process. Because the biggest issue that we see is that what the companies say is in the product is not actually in the product. So sometimes the third-party testing will reveal that none of the ingredients that the company states is in the product at all. Sometimes there are additional ingredients such as testosterone or illegal ingredients that give the benefit of muscle mass gain but with high risks. And then sometimes it is just more than what's supposed to be there and doesn't match what's on the label. So that's what the third-party testing is helpful with. Once that product is verified, the manufacturer then can put a seal of approval, and so that's the seal that you want to look for when you're buying these products. Keep in mind, third-party certification does not mean that the product is safe. It just means that what they say is in the product is in the product and it matches the label. Very, very important. The reason why this is important is because when you get to the collegiate level where drug testing takes place, they do not care if you say, hey, I didn't intend to take a product that was banned or illegal. If you test positive, you test positive. You cannot blame it on the supplement. It is your responsibility as the athlete to review everything that you put in your mouth as a supplement. So these are the symbols or the labels or the certifications that you should be looking for. The ones that say sport are focused on athletes at higher levels that are trying to avoid any drug testing positives that may occur. And this can be found at this website listed below. This website is Operation Safe Supplement. It is provided for free by the Department of Defense, and that's available to anybody and anyone who wants to utilize those products. They also have a little safe supplement checker that asks you 6 or 7 questions that you can run through to see if your supplement is potentially safe or it is a no-go supplement, and I will place that link in the notes.